Welcome back. They are desperate and in pain, and they are shelling out thousands of dollars to stem cell clinics.
CBS 2 investigator Pam Zekin was the first to expose these unproven treatments. Now she is demanding answers from the state on how it plans to protect patients.
I was in so much pain I couldn't think straight.
65-year-old John Zapfel suffers from arthritis and degenerated discs in his neck.
I'll do anything to get out of this pain. I'm desperate.
68-year-old Patricia Corona suffers from severe knee pain caused by lost cartilage.
You'll try anything to get rid of that pain and to not have to have surgery.
Both Corona and Zapfel saw the same newspaper ads offering stem cells to stop the pain and regenerate and repair tissues for a laundry list of painful medical conditions. And as the ad suggested, both went to seminars like the one I attended undercover, presented by chiropractor Jill Howe. She operates stem cell clinics called the Wellness Institute. Both Corona and Zapfel were impressed with Howe's success stories about stem cell injections, including her own.
I can jump up and down, and on an x-ray, I have an ankle joint again on the right-hand side where before I didn't have one.
And I thought, wow, that's impressive.
That would be miraculous, but there's no evidence that that actually occurs.
This orthopedic surgeon is one of several stem cell researchers we consulted for our reports who agreed
There's no data to suggest that you can get a brand new ankle joint and to regrow your cartilage.
but that's what Howe claimed.
They said that they would regenerate the cartilage.
Corona paid $4,500 for injections in her knee, but the pain continued. Later, x-rays ordered by her orthopedic surgeon showed
Bone on bone. No cartilage grew.
Zapfel paid $14,000 for stem cell injections on each side of his neck and his shoulder. This MRI taken by his current doctor showed no improvement.
I was mad. They ripped me off.
We could not reach Jill Howe to ask about these patients, but I did find her last fall. I have some questions for you about your presentations that you make to people.
Yes, our purpose is to help people get better and help people stay better.
Are you cheating people by giving them false hope?
Please let go of my card door.
Please
let go of
Are
my
you
card
giving
door.
them false hope? Since our first story aired last November, we've been asking the state, what are you doing to protect patients? A spokesperson for the Illinois Department of Professional Regulation told me we need evidence. For starters, what about these ads? So we took a sample to the state office to show them. Eric, you told me that you needed evidence for these. How much more evidence do you need than what's in newspaper ads that's deceptive advertising?
I'm happy to continue this conversation offline.
But we did not hear from him. So next, I tried asking DPR's medical coordinator, Dr. Brian Zachariah, about what the state is doing. Have you seen these?
I have.
They are making statements in here they can't prove. People are paying thousands of dollars for this.
And yes, we've seen those, I can tell you that much.
Last year, the Federation of State Medical Boards recommended what state regulators can do to protect desperate patients from what it described as unscrupulous practitioners offering unproven treatments. Among them, states are advised to watch for deceptive marketing claims, make sure physicians have documented evidence to support treatment claims, and are not charging excessive fees. Dr. Scott Steingard helped write the report. We showed him our investigation from last November.
It's shocking. It's sad. I am very hopeful that if medical boards would see a case of inappropriate use of stem cell or regenerative therapies, they would take appropriate action.
The report notes only 17 of 51 medical boards have investigated claims against physicians offering stem cell treatments, and only 8 have taken disciplinary action. And this National Association is saying it's a serious problem, and they cite all of the types of deceptive things that we had in our story.
And we are a member of that organization, yes.
Are you adopting or recommending at least an adoption of these regulations?
I can't comment on that unless the department says I can.
Both Zapfel and Corona have filed complaints with the state, saying they were misled by Howe and the Wellness Institute.
They said it was FDA approved,
They said that their treatment and use of those stem cells was FDA approved?
Yeah.
It's not.
It's an 88% success rate.
That's what she said?
Correct. 88% success rate.
That's unproven. Now all these patients want their money back and want the state to take action.
These people, yeah, they need to stop. They need to be put out of business.
The state should get involved and close them all down.
Stem cell research is underway, but very few treatments have FDA approval, and ours do not. After our reports, the chain of clinics continued advertising and hosting seminars to sign up patients, with one change. We overheard at one of them, attendees were asked to sign a document saying they are not from a television station recording undercover. Brad and Erica, I wonder why.
Yes, we know. Well, so these agencies, I know a lot of these victims, they feel like nothing's being done through the state. Are they going after them themselves, getting lawyers?
They have tried, but that's too expensive for any of them to really be able to handle. The state has the responsibility and the power to do something, both the Department of Professional Regulation and the Illinois Attorney General's office, and we're going to be following up to see what they do.
Yeah, the pressure is on them.
Maybe with a mountain of evidence, they'll do something. Thank you, Pam.